Oh, this bull market is insane. I just want to keep hitting this bull button that I've got for you guys. This BTC train just absolutely won't stop. We've got some other coins waking up besides these meme coins that are so painful to watch. They just won't stop pumping. So guys, today I've got Phantom for you. I've got Solana. I've got PRV for you guys as well. I've got CHONKY and I've got Bonk. And wait, I've lost. There we go. Okay, it's muted. Let's hit this bull. Let's get into this. Big one coming up. I'm just reading these comments here. What's this guy saying? Led says, did Run climb inside your button shirt looking for a meme or a dust coin? Look, you know, things are pretty hectic out there. We've had two flushes we've seen in the space of 7 days. I think we had a flush on Wednesday. They took us for a ride, about 10-15% on some of these altcoins, and they did us again on Saturday. And it's just relentless pumpage here. And I'm so relieved to see that Phantom has finally woken up. We were calling Phantom on the show last Thursday with Spooky Swap as well. So those things are absolutely firing. So we're going to update those for you. And then I'm looking at another dusty coin with a bit of an ecosystem for you guys. And I've got a whole list of things. So lots to talk about. Let's just look at this current BTC situation, because it won't stop. It's an absolute train right now, and anybody who's trying to short this thing is absolutely crazy, guys. So just answer my poll there for me in the chats. I want to know from you guys, are you busy trying to short these dogs? Are you guys the reason that these dogs just keep absolutely pumping? I mean, Bonk, Myro, Whiff, and then I mean things like Peppy, Doge, all these things. Are you shorting this? What are you doing? Why are you squeezing us up like this? Let me know. Let me know in that poll. Okay, here we are, BTC on the 1 hour. Again, just an absolute freight train. Look at these moves here and look how they're handling these levels perfectly for us right now. So key levels that you want to be watching today. I'm going to pull another one in shortly, but big level right now that we're looking at, 64,500. This is a huge area for us. This is our marker now for today. You can see we've had that little meltdown into that zone and then a very strong bounce. So our lows that we're watching today, 64,500, a little bit deeper. We know we've got a big one here, 63,300. So these are big levels today that we're going to keep our eyes on for any dips, any flush outs, any pullbacks, things like that. I'm going to throw in a 236. This is our most bullish fib that we get, you know, out of our selection, and that's always a hot one to watch when things are pumping. So here's another short-term level, 65,300. So now you've got some banger downside levels to keep your eyes on, 65,300. And the big question, all-time highs coming. You know, it feels like it's coming today. I don't know what Ray's thinking yet. Ray, are you feeling this?
I'm feeling it. I think this week.
It feels like it's coming. I've seen Coinbase is also opening quite bullish, and those things are looking strong. So look, right now, I wouldn't jump in the way of this. Yeah, even if you paid me, I wouldn't try and short this current situation. But big party coming up. We are just around the corner. Things are feeling super bullish. And the news and things like that, it's getting reflected everywhere. We've got 𝗕𝗢𝗘𝗘 talking about history repeating here, saying we're just waiting. If you click on this tweet, we're just waiting for BTC all-time highs, and then it's altcoin season. But I mean, if the current situation we're in isn't an altcoin season, I don't even know what to call it. I mean, we've had 100% moves all over the place. So let's not be under any illusions that we aren't already in some kind of altcoin season, in spite of what is going on with BTC and dominance. I mean, it's just absolutely insane what we're seeing here. And crypto distilled, I love this. Retail is officially back, they say. Meme coins are flying. I mean, this Peppy thing is the best, because if you were around in the bear market 6 or 7 months ago, nobody wanted to touch Peppy because there was all sorts of fighting and all sorts of infighting with the developers, and we thought that project was absolutely over. And people have come back, they've forgotten that, or they didn't even know about it, and they've just pumped this Peppy. Bonkers back, 𝗘𝗢𝗘𝗘, which I've actually forgotten. I practically buried that thing, you know, in a deep dark coffin, and that thing's moving at the moment. And then Dino coins, well, I like to call them dust coins. But Phantom, look at that, coming alive. Dot, coming alive. Gala, it's just looking so good out there. But remember, these are the old guys that got rinsed out in that bear market, and they've come back. They don't know anything about any of these new tokens that are floating around, so they're going to find out soon. But they must come and pump these things for us first. Okay, and then 𝗬𝗎𝗜𝗘𝗘 is just basically telling you guys, calm down. Okay, just calm down. Things are looking a little bit hot out there. Funding rates are getting ridiculous. Things are getting hot. Okay, so he's just, he's trying to throw some water on the fire here because things are looking a little bit hot at the moment. And did this spark another move on this BTC with Qatar buying Bitcoin and all sorts of things like that? I mean, the market is just looking for bullish headlines all over the place, and we're just firing these things up as we go. So things are looking very bullish out there. Still haven't seen any negative press at the moment with the current BTC situation. So all-time highs, we're tracking that. I'm looking for that potentially coming up today. I mean, we could get another squeeze here, so eyes on that for us. And dominance, BTC dominance, this is the weekly chart that I'm watching, and not really moving that much. We had a little rejection here off this weekly horizontal, so we're going to keep our eyes on this, but expect BTC, if it breaks the all-time high, expect BTC dominance to push to this 57% level quite quickly, I would think, and then that is where we can potentially unlock these altcoins again. So eyes on this current BTC dominance. If BTC is pumping all-time high, I would like to think 57% is where we get our next rejection on the dominance, and then unlock some more of these altcoins, because I've also noted that ETH versus BTC has also lost a key level here. They keep faking us out here. They keep teasing us with these little moves, but now we have lost a nice little level here on the weekly. So we're looking at supports again for ETH versus BTC down at the 0.051 level. That is our next sort of area we're going to watch. But as long as BTC is bullish, we can't be too upset with this current situation. The only issue is if BTC is dumping and things like that, and we see this these candles turn red here, then we can be a little bit upset. But right now, nothing to panic about, and yeah, it's the way we like it. Okay, chats. PJ Fox is here in the house. I see Bruce is in the chats as well. Bruce, you must come jump on the back here. I'm sure they want some setups from the chart father. So Bruce, come jump in. Yanko is here. Ben is here saying good morning. Dinoway says, when we selling? Well, I must tell you, and it's probably the worst mistake I've made. I started offloading some of my dogs today. I just thought it was just a little bit too hot, and I've started trying to rotate into a couple of things. One of them was this phantom play that I'm getting super excited about, and we got a couple of others in line here for you guys. So yeah, I've dumped some of these dogs. They've been running so hard, and I've held on to things like Redo, the dog on the Ton network, and things like that. Still looking good for me. Okay, who else is here? I see Kevin is here. Luke is here looking for Kimbo. IX says happy birthday. It's not my birthday. Maybe it's Ray's birthday today. We can find out. I mean, the Hemule guys are here. Arnie B. I mean, you guys were screaming Hemule in my chats weeks ago. You guys must be so wealthy right now with the way you were calling this Hemule, and now it's done like something like 500x or whatever x's that it's done. So whoever was in my chats for the last, say, 6 weeks shouting Hemule at me, you guys have smashed it, and well done for that. Just don't forget to take some profits. And yeah, Gel's looking for cock, and we did discuss that last week. If you're bullish on AVAX, you're bullish on a cock. You just got to go for it. So keep your eyes on that at the moment. Okay, let's look at the current ETH situation, because ETH is also looking a little bit beastie here for us when it eventually joins our party here. Okay, so the level we're watching right now for ETH traders, and I'm still sitting in my ETH long from 2000. It was 2,300 was my ETH long, and we are now looking at the gateway to heaven. Basically, 4,500 is going to be unlocked as soon as ETH can blow this 3,550 region. You can see this is a strong weekly area here. It's giving us big resistance. Look at these weeklies here. We know this is a fight, and that's exactly why it rejected there the first time. It's very tricky for them to just blow straight through these areas. So always understand, when you see massive weekly levels there, you've really got to pay attention and watch what's going on. But what does it mean for us if we break through it? Well, the best part is it becomes a nice support level for us. So ETH traders, if you are not in ETH and you're looking for an ETH position, a very exciting moment is going to be when we push up here and we get that pullback in the market and things are feeling a little bit red and bearish, and we get that pullback. We're going to get that pullback onto the support region, which was the old weekly resistance at around about 3,500, somewhere around that area. And that is an area we can start looking to buy with confidence, provided that BTC isn't absolutely killing us. But for me, a pullback on this level, once we've blown through, is going to be a nice tee up for this final push for ETH. And I wouldn't say final push, because we got some guys saying ETH is going to 20,000 or whatever. But for me, if we can ping this 4.5, I'm going to be very happy. So we're going to look for that final move there. So we want to break this weekly. We want to pull back onto the support, test it as support, the bulls step in, and then we're going to send ETH to this 4.5. So there's a little bit left here on ETH, but again, first things first, let's break through this weekly level. In the meantime, if we get some kind of a horrific meltdown here from BTC, let's keep our eyes on 3.350 for ETH as our first line, or first decent line of support for us. So eyes on 3.350. Bulls, we just want to pop this weekly. When it becomes support, we can climb in, and hopefully we're going to be buying this guy with a little bit of confidence. He did arrive. You see, you were dropping comments in the back there, but you must just jump in. Just jump in.
I was off giving blood this morning, so I'm back now.
He was giving blood because he made so much money trading meme coins. Nearly passed out.
No, because it's the right thing to do. I got a couple. I got interesting. I got 𝗬𝗥𝗘𝗘 and GRT and a couple others I'm looking at. Okay. So
bring us something. I'm going to pull you on just now. Bring us some flavor. Okay, so Bruce, I've dragged him out of Sniper Club. I've put him in here, and he's going to give you guys a little bit of action as well. So we just, we want some setups. We want to see some bangers. If this market is red, if the market is green, we want some action. Okay, so here's another one. So this was dropped in Sniper Club ages ago, and I have spoken about this on my show. Okay, this was a 200% CRV trade that I was teeing up probably about a month or two ago, and it's finally started kicking. And I believe Uncle Run, I didn't see his show, but I believe Uncle Run is starting to talk about this on the research groups and things like that at the moment, and people are potentially turning bullish on CRV again. So what have we got here? So anyone late to the party on CRV, let's say you didn't take this original move at the bottom when CRV was looking so bearish, there was so much FUD around it, and the original play was round about 0.51. So what we've got now is a typical play that I'm looking for. We've got CRV at our TP1 region. Why is the TP1? It's TP1 because it was a big weekly resistance area, just like you've seen on Ethereum here. And now it's starting to pop through this weekly area. And what does that tell us? It tells us that we're potentially going to get a beautiful support play here for CRV to start climbing the ladder and moving to our next TP areas. So CRV, guys, what you need to pay attention to here is 0.71. This is now a support region you want to watch. When we get a pullback on CRV, don't think we're not going to get a pullback. When we get a pullback here, we need the bulls to step in. 0.71, 0.70. If we get support there on that area, then the next move for CRV is on. And the move we're looking for is going to be roughly 42%. That is on the table here at the moment. So we can trade the CRV in blocks. If you didn't get the first entry of this potential position, we just go level by level, block by block. So let's confirm support at 0.7 first. And once we've got that, there's a nice juicy move here for you guys coming around about 42%. So it's going to look something along these lines. Let's just clear up this old one. Okay, we're going to look for something along these lines. So expect some kind of pullback on CRV. And when we do get it, you want to just confirm that we've got support in that 0.7 region. It's going to look something like that. So a break and a retest of support. Once we've pinged our high, we're also going to know where our 382 fib is, where our 236 fib is. And that's going to help us add confluence to the support level. So eyes on CRV, but right now looking good. It was a bit of a lagger, but nice to see it's finally cooking here for us. Let's see this poll while you guys are at this. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, so we got 28% of you. Okay, I mean, I must be honest. I'm also guilty. I have tried a short some of the dogs. One of them was Myro. So I'm playing around with a Myro short, but yeah, I mean, we're all guilty. When you see these things pumping like that, you think, let me take a chance, let me see. But you know, we're part of the problem. We're literally part of the problem. We are the reason these things keep pumping up. So just you know, maybe cool it with some of these shorts for now. Let these things settle down, and then the second bounce that they give us, then we can maybe get stuck into those properly. So, okay, here's an update for you guys on Sol. I didn't want to leave you soulless on a Monday. I think everybody needs to know where Sol is. And right now, here we are. So Sol's printing a nice little flag for us on the 12 hour. So nice little thing to watch. It's looking quite bullish. And this is, you know, it's essentially a bull flag. And, you know, when we get it right, we're looking for that break and push higher. So my upside targets for Sol haven't changed at all. I'm still looking at this 160 to 165 region for Solana. No reason for me to look for exits or anything. As long as BTC is looking good, looking aggressive the way it is, no reason here to do anything with Sol other than wait for this 165 level. How am I going to do that? Well, what we got to do is pay attention to key support levels, key areas for us, and you know, we got to watch these levels. So big level that I'm watching right now for Sol, based on the current setup here, 123. That's our big area we're watching now. If we get some kind of market dip, 123 is a potential buy zone. Next hot area, 118. That hasn't changed. That was still the 118 from last week that we liked. And then I've got a nice zone here, 113. So these are all big levels here for Solana. If we get some kind of pullback, some kind of meltdown, and we remain bullish with our bias on the market, all of these zones are potential buy zones for us. And I mean, ideally, we don't want to lose this 123. That is a hot zone for us. And if it runs away without coming back, then we're going to play that trend break. We're going to play that break of the flag. And then you can bang out your stops under that previous candle low. Once it breaks out, then you can look for that move to about 165 is where we want to be for phase one. And there's a lot of phases here for Sol. There's a lot of phases if things keep going like this. Okay, let's see what else you guys. No, now you guys are calling other things in the chats here related to Hemil. No, we can't do too many DGen vibes here. Let's see, ICP. That's a good one. That hasn't changed. So ICP was above our monthly pivot last week. No changes there, so looking good on Easy Algo as well. George says Bonk just broke all-time high. It's offensive. It's absolutely offensive to me what is going on with Bonk at the moment. Let's just pull this up. Let's just see where we are. At some point it should appear. Okay, maybe it's not coming to us today. Okay, where's our bonk? Where's our bonk? Where's our bonk? There's our bonk. Okay, here's our bonk. When you ready, bonk. This is the slowest move I've ever seen. Okay, well, while we wait for bonk, let's just finish our discussion with Sol. So Sol 165. I am trading Sol in Prime XBT. This is my only position that I have running on Prime XBT at the moment. It's a Sol position. I built it in okay size here, and we're going to see as we go. So as Sol starts climbing higher, starts pushing higher, we can add to our positions and grow these things. Remember, I like to start things when the market is trending. I like to start quite small, and we can build these positions and really grow the size. If you want to trade Sol and some of these dust coins with me, they've got a nice list of dust coins here on Prime XBT. And we've got things like Doge, we've got things like DOT, which I'm going to talk to you about shortly. And I mean, we've got Filecoin. There's a nice little selection here. If you want to trade with me on Prime XBT, you can click the link in the show description underneath the show, and they are offering a 7% 7% deposit bonus up to I think it was $100,000. So you know, if you put $100,000 in, they're going to give you a $7,000 trading bonus that you can use to trade with. If you put in $1,000, they're giving you 70, and so on. So if you are interested in trading on Prime XBT with me, jump in there, and you can also trade futures. And I mean, you can also trade global markets. I'm talking oil, I'm talking gold, I'm talking silver, I'm talking the S&P 500. But things are so hot right now. I've lost a little bit of interest in gold and silver and things, but we'll get back there. When the market turns a little bit red again, we're going to get back. I'm going to give you some bangers on oil and things like that. So just be patient, but you can send crypto there and you can trade the S&P. You can trade all these other, well, what are they? They dino coins, gold and silver, and you can get stuck into those. So that's the plan there. Bonk is eventually going to join us. I'm not sure why it's not joining us right now, but okay, we'll keep fighting on. Another one of interest that I've got for you guys is Injective, and I think I've got a setup coming for Injective. It's not the flavor of the month. It's not trending. It's not trendy to be an Injective. I don't think it's a narrative right now, but it is one of my favorites at the moment, and we are looking to slowly sweat into a potential entry zone. So I've got my eyes on Injective here. While it's melting down a little bit, I'm still very bullish on Injective, and I'm watching this 37.6 region for Injective, and there's a couple of reasons why I like it, but one of them is that we've got a couple of X-prints. Well, we've got one X-print so far on the 4 hour on my Lux Algo that I like to use. And that generally tells us that things are slowing down on the existing move. So we've got a short print at the moment, and they've given us our first X. And what does that tell us? That tells us it's potentially slowing down. When we see it slowing down next to a nice horizontal support level, like, for example, a 618 tied in with some horizontals and a wick low, that tells us we might be getting our bounce, we might be getting our reversal somewhere in that region. Then we also have our 50-day MA support just pushing up over there. So for me, this is telling me Injective reversal time is imminent. It is coming. So keep your eyes on Injective. There is a nice level right here at 39. If it doesn't start pushing up from here and start breaking this trend and really just kicking on, then you're going to be waiting for this little entry that I've drawn for you guys at this 37.5 region. So keep your eyes on this 37.5. That's where it really is looking nice and juicy here for me. And I am in an Injective long currently, so I will just be adding. My entry is a little bit lower down, so that is an adding position there for me, and we can hopefully take advantage of a nice little pusher on Injective off that area. But it's not a dog, it's not a dog, it's not peppy, but at some point the narrative moves back and Injective becomes the flavor of the month. So don't lose sight of it. Okay, here is Phantom.
Dylan,
yes.
do you want me to? I have the bunk chart. It's working. Do you want me to put it up so you can talk over it?
Let me see if it's managed to pull itself back here yet.
There it is. Oh, there we go.
There it is. You're right.
I'm good luck for you.
Thanks. You cured me. Okay, let's deal with this bonk, because I mean obviously, when you sell your bonk, that's when it punts even harder. So I exited my bonk earlier today, and here it is, insulting me, slapping me in the face, and it's now printing all-time highs. Thanks, George, for pointing that out. And what do we have now? Well, we do have a nice support marker for bonk. So bonk traders, what you want to watch for now is a support confirmation. So if we do get that pullback, and I'm saying if, but it's more like when we do get that pullback, you want to be looking at solid levels. You want to be looking at areas where you can get a reaction and a possible buy. So bonk right now, any pullbacks to multiple zeros, 3, 4, 6, 4, that is the area you're going to work with. So we've blown the all-time high. Everyone and his dog is trying to short the dog, and it's squeezing. And what we're looking for there is any pullbacks into that region is a potential buy zone. Okay, I would think if bonk runs way harder here, by the time we get back to that level, we might be looking at potentially more downside. But this is your first marker you're going to play with. This is your first zone that you're looking at. So eyes on this region, and just bang this in on your chart. Maybe put an alarm there if it does pull back into that zone, because it could be a potential bounce area there for you guys if this narrative is going to continue. I mean, is it ever going to end? It just feels like it won't stop. It's like a bad rash. They just keep dogging. Okay, let's go Phantom. Okay, so this is where we are. Phantom, I was loving Phantom last week. We were looking at this weekly trend break. This is Phantom on the weekly, and nice little mover. So we've had a very bullish play here from Phantom. You can see we broke our weekly trend. That was long overdue. It was lagging horrifically against some of these other altcoins, and now this is a now big trade for me. I've added to my Phantom position. I'm looking for an upside here of Phantom at around about 1.1, maybe just under 1.1 as my target. So we're looking at about a 70% move in play. Why do I like that area so much? Well, it's a nice juicy weekly zone, and we've seen a lot of these altcoins like to take out these candles where we had all these dumps. They like to take these candles out quite quickly and hit some nice juicy areas for us. So I've got my eyes on this weekly region up there, just under 1.1, looking good for me. And what do we want to do? So we get a break break of this weekly, and what's the first thing we do? We look for key support areas, key pullback regions that we can have bullish buys on for things like that. And the first zone of interest for us is support that we have here at 0.61. So 0.61, you can see this is a nice weekly area tied in with a bullish 236 fib for me. So that's a lovely area here for Phantom as support. So if you're trading Phantom, this is your key support that you're watching now, 0.61. If we do have a meltdown in the market, I've got a hot zone here. I mean, this is a smoking hot zone here, 0.528. Okay, this is a massive area. It's going to take a hell of a lot to break this region and go lower than that at the moment. So these are big weeklies here. It's a 382 as well. So a solid zone for me here. So you've got your backup level, 0.53 is your backup support zone. That can be an add zone, extra buy zone, and things like that. And still super bullish zone is just above this 236 fib. So that's 0.61. So I'm loving Phantom at the moment. I'm loving this upside. And when you see this type of picture, okay, here's another example. When you see a setup like this, you don't need to now ape in at 15x, 20x, 30x, drag the dial. If you zoom out and you look at the size of the picture here, we're looking at 60% moves. We're looking at 80% moves on some of these altcoins, as long as you can be patient. So what you can do is slowly grow your position. So don't jump out of the gates and start, like aping into this type of thing. You can build a position, because if something's going to move 60% over a few weeks or over a couple of months, with a little bit of up and down along the way, you can just slowly grow that size. So by the time you're pushing the last 20% of the move, the last 30% of the move, you've got a massive size position that you probably never thought you would have had in the first place. So always, in a trending market, you can start small position, look for the big move, and as you go and you start cracking weekly levels and you start breaking through good areas, you can just add to your positions. You can grow the size instead of having that absolute panic of having to now have a massive size out the gates. You don't need to do it this way. So you can add to your winners as it goes, and you can really grow a nice little position size there. Did you like that advice, Bruce?
I think that's perfect. I love it. People see those 100x trades or 50x trades, and they think that's the way they need to start, and all they do is create risk. So I love that.
You create risk and you create lack of sleep. Okay, you won't sleep. You'll be checking your phone because your position's too big. You're panicking. So, let it grow nice and small. Let that position grow. And then you can really create a big size in the end that you can flash to all your friends afterwards. But, start simple in the beginning. Okay, so Phantom's looking good, and Phantom's partner in crime, Spooky Swap. And I saw Sheldon's talking about Phantom and Spooky Swap as well. So we're on board here. The whole Sniper Club is on board here. We're loving the current situation here. So this is Spooky Swap. The ticker is BOO. I spoke about this one last week on Thursday, and we already got an 80% pump out of this. So we spoke about it. We were just under here, about 1.05, and they hit us with 88%. Since we spoke about this on Thursday, and this was purely a play on Phantom strength. So if Phantom's pumping, what do? You look for things in the ecosystem, and Spooky Swap was one of them. And it's a proxy play, and these things often pump a lot harder than the actual main token. So if you bullish on AVAX, like I spoke about the other day, you go and you grab some cock, and you grab Trader Joe and things like that. And if you bullish on Phantom, you grab Spooky Swap. And what we can do here, Spooky Swap. So all is well here. If you're looking for buyers in this area, we are now testing a weekly support. We're testing a 382. We're testing a trend. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a nice little test zone. This is a nice little area. 1.5 for support for us on Spooky Swap. Now remember, this is a massive mover. This is a big mover. So you don't need to go huge size into these type of things. And hot zones, I would watch 1.5. And the next region you're looking at, 1.2. These are both very hot zones for Spooky Swap. Bear in mind, we've had an 80% pump in a few days. If they pull back 30%, it's more than reasonable. If they pull back 40%, it's more than reasonable. The thing is still pushing higher. So as long as you are bullish on Phantom and Phantom strength, then you want to be jumping into things like this. And the total upside was, or is, 220%. So, you know, a potential slow mover here. Let this thing grow and let it move higher. And as you break through your levels, as you break your areas, you can start TPing and you can start looking, you know, at adding to positions and things like that. So you're going to look out for all these TP regions. What these things generally do is once they break through there, then they find support in these regions, and then you get your next entry. So this won't be our last trade on Spooky Swap. We'll certainly keep looking at this as this move progresses. Not a joke says Sui is sleeping, ready to explode. Well, I was looking at Sui and Say today, and they were both looking okay. And I've actually got a Say set up. We need to just check in and see how it's doing here, but it was prepped and ready for you guys. Okay, let's first jump into. I've got so much for you. I've also got BRC ecosystem things for you guys. This is the next juicy one. Okay, another dust coin, and maybe you can trade this on Prime XBT. Yes, that would be great. Prime XBT potential trade here to tie in with my soul trade that I've got here. I'm going to start looking at a potential dot trade. Okay, so this is dot on the weekly. Everyone's forgotten about this thing. I actually asked in the newsroom today, is there anything actually happening on dot? I mean, I know there's some kind of shitty decks on it that looks pretty much dead. I'll show it to you. And then there's something called Moon River, or one of those things that is part of the dot ecosystem. But, you know, if people are going to come back and they're going to trade the dust coins, which they clearly are doing right now, you can see dot has broken a nice little weekly zone for us. And now all we want to do is just confirm that dot has support around about this 9.1 region. If dot confirms support on pullbacks anywhere around this 9.1 region, maybe a sniff lower, anything like that, we are looking at a 75% upside here for dot. So it's going to look something along these lines. I'm so happy we're back looking at the dust coins, trading the old dogs. Here we go. So there's a potential setup for you, and it's a big risk reward. You know, if you're looking at about a 10% stop or even a 15% stop, the whole move that you're looking at is about 75%. So it's a risk reward of anything from about 5 to 10, depending on the size of your stop. And remember, once this trade starts moving, you're just going to de-risk immediately by raising your stop. And it's going to be a risk-free trade once it takes off. So eyes on dot. Yeah, I'm loving this potential dot move. And where do we go? What do we have involved with dot? So one of them is something called Moon River, MOVR. So this is part of the dot network or the dot ecosystem. I don't speak fundamentals as well as some of the research guys and things like that, but we know this is a project on dot or involved in dot. And what we have here are clearly defined levels and a nice, clear little range play here for us. So there's a size move here. Let's just check the size of this thing. Okay, nice little range play here for us. 108%. Okay, so there could be a nice little play here based on dot strength. If dot's cooking and dot's moved into its new weekly range that it's trying to move into right now, no reason why this Moon River won't get a little bit more momentum as well. And we're looking at 100% play, 108% play. How do you go about that? What supports can you watch? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. This is the weekly chart I'm looking at. So there's a couple of things you can identify that we know offer great support for altcoins. Number one, weekly levels. We understand that. We know weekly levels are strong, daily levels are strong. Number two, the 50-day moving average. That's a massive marker for us on a lot of these altcoins. So I would say first line of support that you can watch is 50-day moving average, 23.25. If you close under 23.25, it means, you know, we've lost the 50-day moving average and you could see a little bit more downside. Then we've got a nice thick weekly band a little bit lower down. So let's look at around about 20.6 in that region. So these are potential support regions. These are potential stop areas that you could play with, or they are potential DCA buy zones. So if we do get a pullback, these are areas that you'd be looking to buy with confidence. If the market pulls back and your assumption is we are long and strong for the next 12 months and everything is bullish, well, these are your DCA areas. You want to buy the weakness. Remember, it's always easier. You buy the weakness, you buy the red candles. It doesn't feel right, but those are your best buys. So if you get pullbacks onto the 50-day MA, you're looking for buys there. If you get pullbacks onto a thick, juicy weekly level, you're looking for buys there. So areas you're watching on MOVR, which is Moon River, anything around 20.5 for a pullback. Lovely area. Anything around 23.3 for a potential pullback. So these are buy zones and potential exit zones. If you start losing these areas, you can start trimming down, or you can start adding to your position. But we can see we've got a nice thick zone here, and it's backed up further by the 100-day moving average, also just propping up this little weekly zone for us. So very interesting play here for MOVR, 100% move potentially coming here for us. Let's see what else is going on. Not Jake says Zooey, not Suey. Okay, so he's looking for something called Zooey. I don't know. I'm not sure what Zooey is. Let's see what else is happening here. CFX questions. That thing is ripping. That thing's looking good. Filecoin, ICP. Yeah, ICP. Nothing has changed from last week, so there's no change. It's above that. It's above that monthly pivot. No changes to ICP at the moment. Okay, this is a proper risk play. Okay, this is the only DEX I could find on DOT. Okay, and it looks horrific. Okay, so if you are getting involved in this, this is a tiny market cap. You need to be careful. But the same way we looked at Spooky Swap on Phantom, bullish Phantom, we looked at Spooky Swap. You're going to look at a DEX potentially on DOT. This is a small market cap. It's roughly $10 million, and it's been absolutely abused. So keep your eyes on this thing. If it does come to life, it should start moving back nicely. I mean, look at this. Look at these all-time highs here. This thing has been absolutely bled out. And it just means zero activity on DOT and the ecosystem. So interesting to see if they do revive this thing. Let's just take a look at the size of the move here. Let's just look at the highs from, we look at the highs from the BTC high. Okay, that is, okay, it peaked at about 97% down. Okay, so 98% down. Small little pullback, tiny little pullback there on this poker DEX, PDEX. Small little pullback, 98%. Keep it in mind. Okay, if DOT starts taking off, look at a DEX, look at some projects on DOT. Moon River and this PDEX are what I'm watching. Don't ape into this thing. You can see if this thing starts moving, the moves are going to be huge. You're not gonna have issues there making profits once this thing starts pumping. So let's just see, for example, even if we take it to these highs, to the weekly high, you're looking at around about 86% from this current position, and that's literally riding it to these weekly highs. So this is definitely a spot play type thing. Don't try and leverage this thing. I don't even know if you can, but look at something along these lines. If DOT turns bullish, there's an 86% potential move coming here, and some clearly defined levels for you. You've got your 50-day moving average 1.15 that can act as support, and you've got your 200-day moving average at 92 that can act as support for you. So yeah, something to keep your eyes on. I'm just looking at the chats here. The guys are asking about Ben Dog. Guys, I mean, some of these meme coins have just ripped. I mean, this Redo Dog has really blown me away as well. That thing's been moving so nicely. Let's see. Christian's looking for Matic. Matic is looking strong. Matic broke that weekly trend last week. So, yeah, all is good for Matic. No changes there. You know, Matic, Phantom, all these type of things, their charts look very similar. So, you know, you can put the same sort of thing in practice on these type of things. Let's do an update on 𝗘𝗢𝗘𝗘. I'm absolutely loving this current 𝗘𝗢𝗘𝗘 situation, if it does appear. Geez, I've got some laggage here, Bruce. Okay, here we go. So for those of you that were around, and in 1st of December, I spoke about this briefly last week, but I looked at the 𝗘𝗢𝗘 trade. We called the 𝗘𝗢𝗘 trade on a 5x margin. This was our trade. I said to you guys, I want a 500% trade on 𝗘𝗢𝗘, and that was my plan. And I've sat in this thing for absolute months, getting burnt on 𝗘𝗢𝗘, and it's finally woken up. So this is the power of taking these positions and actually just parking them and not stressing on massive leverage and things like that, and worrying about getting stopped out and all these types of things. And here it is coming to life. So I just wanted to use this as an example to show you guys that, you know, sometimes these trades take a while to play out, but when they do, then it's well worth it, and you don't lose sleep over these type of things. If you've got a good entry and you're trading 3x margin and stuff like that, you can build your position slowly and let them just creep up when they're ready. And remember, the drawdowns on these things, it takes like about 20 to 30% before you are actually in trouble. So as long as you are securing a great entry on some of these things, then you're not really at the risk of getting taken out, and it helps you sleep at night. So have it as a balance. You should always have spot trades, you should always have margin trades and leverage trades. Don't only have leverage trades as your strategy. It's not going to end well if that is your only strategy. And you would have seen this weekend, we got a 12 to 15% flush out on a lot of these altcoins on the weekend, and they sent everything straight back up without you. And I took some blows on Saturday as well. You're definitely not alone if you took some hits there. And these, like I said before, these things come out when you least expect it. You'll think everything is okay, and they come out and they just flush you, and you open your app and you see you've got no positions open and they've taken everything. These are just bull market vibes. So remember, just have a nice little balance with your trading strategy and how you're going about things. So if you are interested in 𝗘𝗓, you can see what's going on here. It's now pushing into a resistance band. Okay, so right now we are at a resistance area, and we need to be a little bit patient here. So you can see my TP zone is at the wicks that we are watching over there. So the plan for something along these lines is just a little pop higher into these horizontals, into that TP zone, and then you're no doubt going to get your next bite at 𝗘𝗓 for that finishing move up to the highs here at 0.04950. So there is another trade coming for 𝗘𝗓. I'm not showing you the 𝗘𝗓 trade to gloat or anything. I'm just showing to tell you a story about how these things work. And remember, in this process along the way, we get multiple entries at the next TP and at the next level and things like that. So there are opportunities all along the way. If 𝗘𝗓 starts breaking, we'll have another trade set up for you guys during the week as well. Okay, let's look at some of these BTC strength tokens. Now, remember, when BTC is looking good, we need to look at BRC20 tokens. We need to look at things like MOVR. We need to look at things like stacks, Audis, all these types of things. And here's an update on Audi. And I know the chart father called a banger. How much percent did you make in Sniper Club?
We're up about 70 on 3x. We're about 75% up right now.
Okay, so Bruce called a 3x margin Audi long in Sniper Club, and 70% up. When did you call this?
Thursday. Hold on, I can tell you. Called it on Friday. Nice little weekend play, a little 70%. So guys, this is Bruce, meet everybody. There's a lot of new faces here because the meme coins hello everybody,
and we got some new guests joining us. So Bruce is in the Sniper Club with me and Sheldon. So that's me and Sheldon, Bruce, Simon doing airdrop things, DJ David's in there, our 𝗬𝗢𝗘𝗘 winner, and Bruce the legend is in there calling 70% Audi trades and things like that. If you're interested in Sniper Club, there's a link in the description. You can join the Sniper Club. We're giving out signals. We're giving out my daily chart watch list that I do every single day for you guys. These charts you see on the show, 90% of them are sitting in the Sniper Club, including the 𝗓𝗍 setup that I'm going to show you guys shortly that I dropped earlier this morning. So everything is there for you guys, and then Chaos is there literally causing chaos. He's giving you step-by-step guides on airdrops, but he's mad.
It's true. It's so true.
He's holding your hand.
Out of control. It's amazing. He's just the stuff that gets dropped there is amazing. But the one thing that we do in the Sniper Club is we spend as much time as necessary as we can to teach you how to do what we do. So you become the master trader like the Lord of Entry himself. That's our goal.
Okay, so we have private Zooms as well. So last night we did a private Zoom session for the Sniper Club. We do about 5 or 6 of these sessions a week. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys. Get the link in the description. It's a cooker, okay? And Chaos is bringing you he's holding your hand step by step, teaching you how to do airdrops, taking you through the process. You've got researchers in there dropping fundamentals. It's all happening in there. Okay. Bruce, let's just update this Audis now. I mean, you've done 70%. So what is the plan? Where are you now? I mean, this is the top.
Actually, it hit TP2 last night, and I'm seeing a little bit of weakness right now. Bitcoin's running, and everything else seems to kind of, not everything, but a lot of stuff seems tepid. So my recommendation was to actually take a chunk of profit at around 89, which is what it hit, and then leave a little bit of opening case. And if it pulls back, then you can add on again. But I think it's time to just take your money and run.
Yeah, so I mean, we've hit a typical horizontal resistance here. This is a daily. This is a big level. So if you've done 70%, nothing wrong with taking profits. If you're looking at Audis, you just got to hunt your next support zone. So if you're still bullish on Audis, your next support, you look for a nice thick support area. You're looking for a pullback onto that zone. So do you agree, Bruce? 82? Looks okay.
Yeah, I would a pull back to 82.83 would be awesome. That would be that'd be a strong re-entry zone too. Actually, if you pull back there, because you've got that trend line that pulls up there, and you got a fib. You got it. There we go.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that would be ideal.
Okay, so when your fibs tie in with your nice horizontal levels,
Yeah.
you can start you can start getting a little bit more confidence in areas. Obviously, they don't work every time, but we get extra confidence, gives us a reason to enter into a position and things like that. So eyes on 82 for Audis.
Yep.
Any pullback there, that's a support you can watch. So eyes on that. If it's going to be bullish, Bruce, my upside, I'm sure you've got the same. 116
Hold on.
upside target here. Audis. I've pulled a 1.1618.
Yep, that's exactly what I got. You're on, spot on. Yep.
Okay, so there's nice upside targets for Audis. You've got your supports. If you want to catch some more trades from the legend, you know where to find him now. Bruce, thanks for hanging.
You're welcome.
See you later. Okay, so here's another one. BRC20 vibes, Mubi. Okay, we've spoken about this one on the show a couple of times, and also just interesting BTC proxy play, these type of things. And I've got a nice little move here on Mubi. So we've got a little upside coming. You can see this nice little target here, 0.24. That's looking nice for us, and that's potentially from the support base here, which I'm going to give you now. It's about a 50% play. So ideally, what you're looking for is any weakness here in Mubi that they give us, as long as BTC is still playing the game, any weakness onto this region roundabout 0.155, anywhere into that 0.155 is a nice strong daily support level that you could start looking at for buyers, and potential upside here for Mubi of about 50% that you can play. So, and that would just be taking us to the range high. So you're just looking for a move into this area. You can see why we've got resistance here, nice little resistance area, bang, bang, bang. So that would be your TP zone that you're looking at, and 50% play with your support 0.155 anywhere down into that region should offer you support. Okay, now remember, eyes on BTC, eyes on dominance and these type of things. If the wheels are coming off BTC and that thing is dumping, no alts are going to be holding up, or very few will be holding up. But as long as BTC is cruising, ranging a little bit, slight pullbacks, things like that, these alts should keep churning, and they should just keep pushing off their nice little levels. Okay, I've got questions for Link. Let's see what else we got. I've got 𝗦𝗘𝗖𝗨𝗦𝗑𝗧 keeps asking me very politely. He says, live speaker. He's asking me for SHIB. That's maybe we can squeeze in a SHIB here. Let's just finish some of these things at the moment. This is Stacks. Obviously, we can't leave a show without Stacks when it eventually appears. I don't know what's going on here, Bruce. This thing, it's just hanging on me. Let's see if it's going to come back. Waiting for Say as well. Okay, well, let's try and pull it up. Let's try and pull it up on another window. Maybe that's going to work for us. Okay, there's our stacks that we're looking at. Okay, and here's the current setup for stacks that I dropped in Sniper Club earlier today, and this is still applicable to you guys, so there's no changes here at the moment. This is it's a shorter term scalp type situation here for stacks, and an area of interest that I've been watching. So let's just let this thing settle here a little bit. Okay, so this was our area that we were watching. It was a 382 tied in with trend and horizontals as a potential support zone for us. So this is our first little long zone that you can look at for stacks. So it's a tight little area, but you can see we've got nice 8-hour supports here. We've got 382s and we've got a trend in this region. So there's a potential move coming here on stacks at around about 3. So if you get a dip into this 3 region, just under about 2.99, there's a potential long there with quite a tight little stop. You can get away with around about 2% there. On stacks. So that's a little plan there for a little bounce. And if we do lose that area, then things are potentially turning a little bit bearish for things like stacks. And you can see why it's looking a little bit bearish, because right now we've got a rising trend. So this is our fun line, and all the fun happens on the correct side of the line. If we start losing the fun line, then things become less fun and we start getting a hiding if we're sitting in long. So what happens here with Stacks? If Stacks loses the fun line, you're probably going to get a reaction at 2.75. You're most likely going to get a bounce there. And what does that look like? It looks something along these lines. It's going to push back into your old resistance area, and then it's going to possibly look for a lower move. So right now, if you're playing a trend line, that is how you do it. You look for your horizontals, you look for your fibs, you look for your trends, and you look for bounces in those regions. And the tighter the stop and the greedier you are with your entries, the lower your risk, obviously. If you lose the fun line, then we are dipping down. We lose the trend. It tells us we're potentially bearish, and any retest then in a situation like that can often lead to more downside. So then the bears come and step in after that bounce. Okay, so after that little reaction, once we've lost the trend, the bears come and step in, and they start looking for shorts for lower down, and they start eyeing lower levels. It's a very simple play, and the best way to do that, if you've seen breakout trades, is you can just invert the chart, and it will look something along these lines. Okay, so you'll have a setup like that, which is generally bearish, so you'll get that break, and then the retest, and then you have your entry presenting itself. So that is how you can play the short game. And for those of you that are joining us now that are in the bull market, everything is long. But at some point, we reach a stage in the market, and there's always a stage where there's a week or three, and things start lulling, and we need to start looking for shorts, and these things will start presenting themselves as we go. So track your fun line. This is the 8 hour that you're watching at the moment. If we lose that fun line, then things are potentially looking a little bit bearish there for us. Okay, let's look at Say. And then I've got one more for you. I've got one more meme coin for you, which I've spoken to you guys about before on one of my DGen shows, which I'll take you through. But okay, here's Say. It's finally presented itself to us. Very kind of it to join us. And Say has now drifted into a nice little region. So what do we have here for Say? We've got the rising trend, which is our fun line. It's just, okay. Oh, this thing is lagging. Just bear with me. Sorry, folks. Okay, well, we've got our, when it eventually works, okay, you can see we've got our rising trend here for Say. This is our fun line that we are watching, and it's dipping down into a nice juicy area for us. So what do I like about this area? I've got a 50-day moving average. We know that gives us good support for these altcoins. I've got a 618 fib. We know we get a good reaction on these areas. I've got horizontal tie in as well in these areas. You can see we've got nice horizontals here offering confluence, and we've got the trend. So we've got a nice mix of reasons why we could get a bounce here on Say from this region. So eyes on the 0.753 region, anywhere in that area. 0.75, we're looking for a bounce here. We're looking for a bullish bounce in the zone, and then we want to just push it a little bit higher from there. If we lose this major horizontal, and this is a major horizontal here, if we lose that area, we've lost our rising trend, we've lost our fun line, and things are potentially then looking a little bit sad, and they're looking a little bit bearish, like my screen that just keeps going blank. Okay, there's one more meme coin I've got for you guys. This thing is called CHONKY. Okay, this is a fat cat on Solana. And you can see this chart has been performing. It's looking okay. It's got a 20 million fully diluted market cap. How long is this meme run going to last? I can't tell you. Okay, I sold a lot of my memes today, and I actually expected it to start falling over at some point. But what I can give you here is the fat cat CHONKY on Solana. Okay, you can get this thing on Bird Eye. It's broken a daily trend. This is the daily chart that I'm looking at the moment. It's broken a daily trend. It's coming back for the retest. Okay, eyes on this level right now. So if you get CHONKY, look for support 0. Okay, this is now, they're giving you so many zeros here. I'm going to read it to you on the screen. 0.0, and then there's a tiny little 4, obviously indicating more zeros. Then it's 3637. Okay, so that is your support, 3637 for CHONKY. It's come back, it's retesting this daily. If it starts losing this daily level, then we know things are sad for CHONKY. The meme season is over. We're all crying because we didn't take profits. Well, I took some profits today. If it bounces there, we're getting a push up. Meme season is still cooking, and it's all systems go. And I sold my dogs too early, and I'm upset. So that's basically the line there that we're watching right now. So eyes on CHONKY. This could be a little mover here, and it's a cat. If people are chasing cats, these are the cats you could potentially be looking at. Okay. smashed 53 minutes. Okay, you've got some nice levels, you've got some nice areas. Let's recap quickly this BTC situation, just so we can make sure the wheels haven't come off quickly. I just want to take a look at my chart here while we're waiting. But remember, guys, just like I've explained to you before, I've given you some trades with some massive targets. Now, these things don't necessarily come in a week. They could take weeks and months, like you saw with my ZIL position. It could take a very long time to play out. And along the way, expect 20% drawdowns, expect big moves up, expect big moves down along the way, and protect yourself by using spot or really low leverage stuff. If you're aping in and trying to trade these long ones, unless you get lucky with an absolute banger entry, often they come back and flush you out. So on Saturday, we saw, for example, any trades that you entered into, within a few days on, say, 10x even, and you weren't more than 14 or 15% up, you could have been stopped out or liquidated on those moves on Saturday. So they flushed us on Wednesday, they flushed us on Saturday again. And, so they are coming for us in this bull market. These are bull market vibes. Just understand that this happens all the time. It's part of the process. So protect yourself, spot, low leverage stuff, great entries, be greedy, very greedy with your entries. If you want to learn about entries, watch the show, hang out with me. If you want to learn more about entries and how we do it, join the Sniper Club and get involved there. Okay, BTC final update. Yeah, we've peaked here. We've just had a little rejection on BTC at 66 66,800 region, and you're just going to keep your eyes on your support. The 65,300 is your support that you're going to be watching for BTC. So 65,300 is support number 1, 64,500 support number 2. Eyes on that. If we get bounces there, these alts should be good. Tie them into their levels, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Always exciting, guys. Catch you later.